Am I the idiot for taking my niece to court over a coat? I 28 female have a niece 16 female. She is my only sister's only child. 2 years ago I married a very wealthy man, 34 male, and because of the pandemic, last Christmas was my first with my in-laws. My mother-in-law gifted me a coat that is worth more than $20 K. I saw her wearing it, asked her where she bought it, and she said that it will be my Christmas gift from her. I didn't know how much it was. I knew it was expensive, but I thought maybe $3 K at most. I was visiting my sister last January when my niece saw it. She googled the brand and showed me how much it really was. I won't lie, I didn't wear it after that because I was afraid of ruining it. Last week, I wore it while visiting my sister. While I was putting it back on to leave, I felt something go splat on my back. Then my niece started cackling and the smell of paint hit me. I was so pissed off while she was not apologetic at all. Her mom screamed at her and said she was grounded. Then she said she will pay for the dry cleaning. While I was in my car, still in shock by the way, I got an alert that my niece posted a reel. It was of her doing a prank on me. And she said I'm going to hit my aunt's $20 K coat with a paint-filled balloon to see how she reacts. I saved it on my phone, sent it to her mom and told her that a week's grounding is not enough. She did not reply, but I saw that my niece took it down. It got less than 5 views by then. The next day I found out my code cannot be saved, so I called my sister and told her that her daughter has to pay it back. Well, we got into an argument and she said that they will not be paying it, and if I wanted a new one, I should get my husband to buy it for me. I think that they should pay for it. They can afford to. In my opinion, they should sell my niece's car and pay me back my money. We did not reach an agreement, so I told her that I will be suing, and reminded her that I have video evidence that her daughter A did it on purpose for online clout and B knew exactly how expensive it was. People in my life are not objective at all. I have some calling me the idiot, some saying they are the idiots for not buying me a new one, and some so obsessed with the price of the coat that they are calling me an idiot for simply owning it and wanting a new one. So am I the idiot? Edit, sorry for not making it clearer, but my coat was bought new, just identical to my mother-in-law's. Not the idiot. She ruined the $20,000 coat. She wasn't even apologetic. For a prank video. For a 16-year-old she's acting a lot like a 6-year-old. Welcome to 2022. I disagree. 6-year-olds are rarely that mean and destructive. This girl knew the value of the coat was extreme and deliberately set out to destroy it, record it, put it on social media and gain attention from it. That is a crime. And it isn't going to be a misdemeanor with a $20,000 value. When you call the lawyer, ask him to help you go to the police station and press charges on the attention-seeking niece. Ask the lawyer to make sure to notify you when your niece will be arrested. Go film it and put it on social media. Maybe then she, and her parents, will learn that if you deliberately destroy someone's property, you replace it. I think it's a real-life consequence to press charges or pay for the coat. Since it's family, I think both is overkill. I would either let your sister know, the niece can pay you back, or you will press charges, simply as that. I'd personally frame it as a teaching moment rather than revenge. If she can't afford it, I'd say charge the new one, and she needs to get a job and make payments with a contract in writing of how much she gives you every pay period. And have it include interest. Parents could do this as well. It's probably going to take the kid 3.5 years to pay it back. That kind of long-term debt will be a wake-up call. Sounds like it's not getting taken as seriously because it's a luxury item, but $20,000 is still $20,000. If the girl had destroyed a car, or deliberately did $20 K worth of damage to a house, it would be addressed totally differently. But just because the coat was a luxury doesn't take away the destroyed value. It's not just a civil claim, unfortunately. It's criminal damage to property. I'd have a hard time thinking about calling the cops on a kid in my family. A very hard time. But, just give the kid a pass? Hell no. I had my kid arrested for stealing and damaging another kid's bicycle. The kid's dad just wanted me to pay for the bicycle, but that wouldn't teach my son real-world consequences. Better this 16-year-old girl get the same lesson while she's a minor with the record sealed, than to continue this kind of behavior into legal adulthood, when criminal records stick. Am I the idiot for telling my partner not to join the same gym as me? My girlfriend 29 female and I 33 male just moved to NYC. We're coming from Colorado where we first began cohabitating together and now carrying that on in the Big Apple. We have a little less space now, but I don't think that bothers either of us too much. Even despite this move, my GF and I have always been open and transparent when it comes to having our own individual lives away from each other. We love each other very much, but we understand that having a healthy relationship can often act as a byproduct to having a healthy individual state of mind. While we prioritize spending time together, we also hold doing things individually with high importance. So now that we're in NYC, we both needed gym memberships. In our search I found a gym that I felt confidently would meet all my needs. I was pretty sure it was the perfect fit. She was simultaneously doing her own search, but for whatever reason didn't come across the gym that I had found and was generally underwhelmed with what she had found. She wasn't that excited about any of them. She wanted me to tell her about the one that I had found so she could consider joining herself. So I told her the name, she looked it up, and was very interested. It checked all her boxes as well. I told her that I'd prefer to keep the gym as separate activities, a space we could each have for ourselves. Or in other words, don't join the same gym I'm joining. I felt particularly strong about this considering we're living in a small apartment now and I was clinging to the idea of a gym as my own personal getaway whenever needed. At first her reaction was only slightly negative. I explained why I felt this way and ultimately, she said she understood. I've since joined that gym and have been going regularly. But whenever I come home and she asks me, how is it? I tell her great and then I just feel a massive amount of guilt because I know she'd like to be a member as well. Am I the idiot? Why can't she go to the same gym as you if it meets both your needs? You don't have to go at the same time or go and work out together. I don't understand your need to prevent her from joining that gym. You're the idiot. Probably cause he flirts at the gym and doesn't want it known he's in a relationship. Or maybe doesn't like others to know he's not single. My dude, I have lived in NYC. The city is literally your backyard. You can't find another personal getaway space? Coffee shop? Park? Library? You can't go at different times? You can't ignore each other while you're there? This op I understand having the fear that you won't have individual alone time, but banning your partner isn't the way to go. Have a conversation and listen, she may not even want to work out with you. Or maybe she's nervous and wants you to go together the first few times, but then go separately. Either way, banning your partner from something because you're afraid isn't the way to go. There are so many spots activities to be alone, why not use those and support your girlfriend in an unfamiliar environment? You're the idiot but not a huge one, you're the idiot. You clearly stated that she was underwhelmed with what she found and she didn't feel excited about any of them. You're meant to be in a loving relationship and always want the best for your partner, especially wanting them to be happy. Let her use the same gym, just say you would rather go at different times so that you can both do your own workout routines and get the alone time that every couple needs. Or if you so desperately want your own gym, you go take one of the shitty gyms. Yeah, I mean, he's the one with the problem. If alone time matters so much then take one of the shitty gyms. Am I the idiot for leaving my friend at the airport? I female 22 and my friend, Emma female 22 recently went on a trip to California. She asked if I wanted to go on the trip with her because we'd stay with one of her other friends Lena 24 female and go sightseeing. I agreed. We booked our ticket and she commuted to my city where we'd be taking off from and stayed the night. She told me her ticket back was a lot later in the day on the day we get back to the city and I told her not to worry. She can stay with me and I'll take her to the station. I told her specifically that I wanted to go see the Golden Gate Bridge and the Japanese tea garden. Her friend's parents housed us at their house so we'd have more room and privacy, and she also picked us up from the airport, prepared gifts for us, and excitedly told us that she's so happy to have guests. We saw the bridge twice, the Japanese tea garden, Ghirardelli Square, Japantown, the pier, and tons more, and took tons of pictures. Emma always asked if I wanted my picture taken in front of things, and offered to retake or take more photos if I was unhappy with them. After the trip, someone had taken Emma's Korean, which had everything she brought. When I grabbed mine, Emma said, "Oh, my Korean isn't here," and I didn't really think much of it. It was a long flight, I was tired, and it was super early in the morning. She said that she wanted to try and find it before the person who took it left with it, and she hurried off. I didn't see her past customs, so I left to meet my boyfriend who was picking us up and left without her. Eventually, I massaged her and told her that she could find her own way back to the station. Emma was confused and said that she was supposed to go back with me and my boyfriend since her train was later, and she was just waiting for flight staff to get her Korean back. And if I was leaving her there, I asked her what she wanted me to do, run after her? She said that she just wanted a bit of understanding that she had her Korean taken, because everything she brought was in the bag and it was a stressful situation. I snapped back and said that the trip we went on wasn't even to sightsee, it was just so she could see her friend. And she responded that we went to see everything I specifically wanted to see and more. Further, Emma said that Lena hosted us well and drove us around the entire week we were there, housed us, her parents fed us breakfast in the mornings, and Lena paid for all the gas, parking, and tolls. I can admit that I was a little passive-aggressive, but she went on to say that if my luggage was taken, she would be with me as support. I said, well, it's not my fault she lost her luggage. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and has since removed me off everything. I don't think I was wrong, but am I the idiot? You're the idiot. Wow, so your friend hooked you up with free accommodation with what sounds like wonderful hosts, catered to your every demand the entire trip, and your way of thanking her is to not only have zero empathy for her lost luggage, but to leave her at the airport? You are a huge asshole. You owe her an apology, and if I were her, I would accept it but still choose to cut you out of my life. It's hard to believe these posts are real. People can't be this dense. Oh, I bet it's real, just written by Emma. Definitely written by Emma. It includes too much detail about all the stuff they did and how well Emma took pictures. Also feel like something is missing. I means the friend was a jerk, but I can't help but wonder if the whole luggage mess was going to take so much time that by the time it was sorted it would be near time for Emma to catch her train home. It's hard to believe these posts are real. People can't be this dense. I'm always reminded of one post in particular. I can't remember exactly when it was posted, but it was like in the past 2 years, I think. In it, the OP's friend was in a screenwriting or directing type class in college, something along those lines. The friend, as part of the class, had to write a play and produce it. He asked the OP to play a bit part in it. So bit, it was a part with maybe 2 lines. So like a very bit part. Later, the OP goes to friend and asks to discuss expanding the role with a speech he feels is just so amazing, it'll make the play so much better. The friend hears him out, but ultimately declines. The op decides he knows better and surprises everyone by going on an otherwise completely unplanned 3 to 4 minute long speech during his part of the play. There's a rule of thumb where 1 minute roughly equals 1 page of a script. The dingbat couldn't understand why his friend was pissed at him and wouldn't speak to him. Like people pointed out, it's almost a certainty the OP caused his friend's grade to tank. You're the idiot. You didn't even bother to contact her to give her a chance to decide whether she wanted to keep looking or get a ride back. It sounds like you mostly got an expenses-paid trip and decided that you couldn't wait to take your friend home when her bag went missing? I'd apologize if I were you. OP hard. You're the idiot. Am I the idiot for threatening to tell my husband's sister and her husband about the tracking device he put in her car? Very recently, I found out that my husband had installed a tracking device in his sister's car while he was fixing it for her. I confronted him and he refused to tell me what was going on or expand on the situation. His sister and I are close. I threatened him to tell her and her husband, but he lashed out saying that this has nothing to do with me and that I was out of line to get myself involved. He told me it's complicated, that he can't say anything to me now and that I should keep my nose out of it. We had an argument and he started avoiding me, saying there's gonna be an issue if I go through with my threat. Am I the asshole for threatening to tell her? Should I back off? More context. I was asked to put more context, but I'm not sure what is and isn't relevant. But I found out about the tracking device when I heard him talking on the phone. He said his mom was on the phone and she knew about it, but I doubt it because she's close to my sil, and also, when he was talking on the phone it didn't sound like he was talking to his mom. His tone was more formal than usual. Not the idiot, but I worry, does your husband also track you? This is very alarming behavior and wonder what he might be hiding from you if he's doing this to his sister. This right here. If he's tracking her, he's tracking you. Dollars to Donut sister's husband asked Op's husband to put the tracker on her car because he thinks she's cheating. Regardless, it's wrong and disgusting. Tell her immediately and begin to rethink this marriage. Not the idiot. 1. You are not the asshole. 2. Tell her. 3. It's probably illegal, and if you know and don't say anything, you may also get into trouble if it comes out. Check local laws on that. 4. Does he also have a tracker on your car? 5. I honestly would discreetly contact a divorce attorney as a preliminary step because this all sounds sketchy as hell. How can you trust this guy now? Edit. First and foremost, keep yourself safe. Not sure what your husband is threatening you with? Let me reword number 4 for you. He has a tracker on your car. Wanna have some fun with it? Go park your car somewhere it doesn't belong. When he calls, don't answer. See how long it takes him to just happen to drive by. Tell her. This isn't complicated. This is illegal and disgusting. Edit. I don't care if she might be cheating or whatever excuse they will use. Cheating is disgusting too, but if they have to track her, they don't know if she actually is, and even cheaters have rights as a human. Check your own car. Am I the idiot for telling my mom to prioritize me if she wants to see me more? I 16 female have parents who are divorced like many people. My dad married my stepmom 3 years ago. My mom got married to my now stepdad 2 months ago. My parents' custody agreement has always been 50-50, which worked well. My parents were able to co-parent well even though they got divorced. Before my mom married stepdad, we lived in a cute 2-bedroom apartment. It was small but I liked it. Both my mom and I had our own space. Once mom and stepdad got married, my mom moved into his house. Now, stepdad has twin daughters, 8. Due to family issues they live with him full-time. Stepdad has a 3-bedroom house. When I first went to stay at my stepdad's place, I was informed I have to share a bedroom with my stepsisters who are 8. When I said I thought there were 3 bedrooms, I was told the other room is my stepdad's man cave. I was willing to try staying in a room with the twins. I tried for a whole month. It just didn't work. They go to bed earlier than me and I have no privacy, which is nice to have as a teen girl. I asked my stepdad if we could make the other room a bedroom for me. He said he needed his space. So I told my mom I'm going to start staying more with my dads. I visit my mom 3-4 times a week. I go over to my mom's when I get off of school and stay over there until 1:30 p.m. So I'm over there for quite a few hours. When I'm there on weekends it's longer. Recently my mom has been complaining that she barely sees me anymore. I told her I'm sorry she feels that way, but it isn't right. I'm expected to share a room with 8-year-olds. I also said it's more understandable if we truly didn't have the room, but we do. Stepdad is just being selfish and you're agreeing with him instead of prioritizing my needs as a teenager. Mom got upset. Stepdad ended up calling me selfish and an idiot, saying kids share rooms all the time. Am I the idiot? Your stepfather is calling you selfish? Well, that's rich. Your mom should have advocated for you before she ever agreed to marry or move in with the guy. Not the idiot. Your mom and stepfather are. I 100% agree. Stepdad agreed to marry your mom knowing there'd be 3 kids in his house now. Which means some. Getting rid of his man cave. Not the idiot. Not the idiot. You're the child. Your parents need to provide for you. Your own space is the best thing for you and the twins. Your stepfather is a parent. He's being selfish and irresponsible. If it were an office and he worked from home, I'd maybe see it differently. But no, he doesn't get a man cave if he crams his 3 kids into another room. What are his poor twins going to do when they're teens? I'd say get the custody arrangement rewritten so you're 100% with dad. I can't see a family court letting the man cave slide. Mom and stepdad may be afraid if that happens, she will have to pay child support. And most judges will listen to what a kid this age wants. I wouldn't be surprised if she has to babysit the 8-year-old twins a lot. Not the idiot. Your mom made her choice and you're making yours. I don't blame you. Expecting a teen to share a room with 2 children, when there's another bedroom available, is ridiculous and even cruel. For letting your stepdad call you an idiot isn't cool either. I bet he'd freak if she called his girls brats. I hope your mom's happy now. Mom, this is consequences of your actions. Consequences, this is my mom. You'll see her a lot.